The D-Day invasion was perhaps the most important weather forecast ever made, as the combined Allied forces of the United States, Great Britain, and Canada all looked to free Europe from the clutches of Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. Dubbed Operation Overlord, it was the largest air and seaborne invasion ever in history, with over 150,000 Allied troops planning to land on the beaches of Normandy. Now, leading up to the attack, the weather remained somewhat unsettled and stormy, with some pretty rough seas, which is not good news if you're trying to land an amphibious force on a beachfront. So, calmer weather was needed, plus a moonlit night would allow paratroopers to be flown in to land on French soil prior to the invasion. And the original plan was for June 5th, but with only a 3-day window of the desired moonlight and tide conditions, a team of 6 meteorologists from the United States and the United Kingdom informed General Eisenhower that weather conditions on the 5th were not ideal for any kind of military assault. A strong low was situated near Scotland, with a cold front pushing across southern England and the English Channel. High winds, rough surf, and thick clouds were all seen on the 5th of June, but because the Allies had previously cracked the German Enigma code, they actually had access to better surface observations and weather data across much of Western Europe compared to what the Germans did. And this allowed them to forecast a very small window just after the frontal passage that would allow them to finally give the assault the green light. And the Germans also believed the Allied forces would strike at the narrowest point in the channel here, and they believed that the Normandy assault was really just a diversion. So between their lack of accurate weather information and confusion over where the actual assault would take place, the Germans were already going to be in a losing battle. Unfortunately, 2,500 Americans lost their lives on D-Day, but their grit and perseverance won out as the Allied forces took control of the beachfront and continued their push through France into the liberation of Paris just 2 months later. If the meteorologists hadn't gotten their forecast right all those years ago, who knows what our world might look like today? All in a day's work. For Fox 25, I'm meteorologist Ross Mumal.